Forest Park High School is evacuated after a misunderstanding was thought to be a bomb threat. The town of Santa Claus is planning changes in its long-range development plans, and Mark Messmer's legislative update. Those stories and much more are all up next here on 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. In your news at this hour, a misinterpreted phone message by a student at Forest Park High School to her mother led the parent to believe that a possible bomb threat existed at the school, prompting school officials to evacuate students from the building this morning. The DuBois County Sheriff's Department, Ferdinand's Police and Fire Departments, Indiana State Police, and Memorial Hospital Emergency Medical Services responded to the school after the report was made just before 10:30 this morning. Authorities removed the students to the Tri-County YMCA next door so law enforcement officers, firefighters, and school staff could search the school. But as it turned out, a full search was not necessary after officials were able to piece together a few facts. Southeast DuBois Superintendent Rick Allen said authorities realized a female student tried calling home from a classroom telephone. The answering machine at the student's home switched on, and in an effort to get her mother to the phone, the student said "Mom" repeatedly. Allen said that when the mother played the message back, it sounded like her daughter was saying "bomb."
Instantly, the mother heard that and says, "What in the world is going on?" She notified her neighbor, who happens to be a Ferdinand police officer, who notified 911, and authorities responded because someone called from this school location, and at that time we thought they said, "We have a bomb." Well, it was a total misunderstanding, and the student came forward, and the parents were very cooperative. The student was very cooperative. The teacher, where the phone call was made, we can use our call manager, so we figured it out in about 45 minutes.
Allen said the actions of the mother are exactly what school officials want parents to do in such an instance. He added the event could be seen as a good practice run for the corporation's bomb threat protocol.
We're really proud of our parents to react like that. We want that to happen. We want that to occur. Yes, all the authorities responded appropriately, and we appreciate that, and it was a great drill. But we're glad that our parents react like that to inform someone, to communicate, so that we can figure out what happened, what the misunderstanding was, and go on from there.
An all clear was given after a total of about 45 minutes, and students were allowed to return to the school's gym, where students were gathered for an assembly when the school was notified of the possible danger. The Southwest DuBois School Board approved a contract for incoming Superintendent Mike Einman at last night's monthly meeting. Einman, who is currently the principal at Southridge High School, will be paid a salary of $102,500 per year, but that will be reduced to $98,500 per year while Einman lives outside the district. Einman is currently living in Jasper, but he said he plans on moving in the near future. On a related note, the school board approved Einman's resignation as Southridge High School principal. Einman is set to become superintendent on April 15th. Kelly Murphy, the current assistant principal at Southridge High School, will be the school's interim principal for the remainder of the school year once Einman becomes superintendent. The town of Santa Claus is planning to make changes to its long-range plan for town improvement. The town council met with an Evansville-based Morley & Associates engineer earlier this month to discuss drafting an updated plan. The plan will set clear goals for future development in Santa Claus, as well as goals for policies concerning land use and public street development. The plan will also help to identify potential problem areas and areas that are most in need of and suited for upgrades. The updated plan will allow the town to be more competitive with other communities applying for major grants that would fund large-scale development projects. The new plan could take up to 6 months to draft. The town also plans to completely revamp its town employee handbook. The current book is seen as inefficient, hard to read, and a potential extra expense due to outdated policies. The board voted to contract the rewriting of the handbook to HR Unlimited Resources at a cost of $6,000. Also recently, bids were opened for a new sport utility vehicle for the police department, as well as a new utility department truck. Sternberg dealerships submitted the lowest bids for both vehicles. The bids have been tabled for further review. The St. Meinrad Arch Abbey has named a new treasurer and business manager. Lisa Castleberry of Eugene, Oregon will succeed Matt Eckert, who left in January to become president and CEO of Holiday World and Splash and Safari in Santa Claus. As treasurer and business manager, Castleberry will be responsible for the financial and business affairs of St. Meinrad, as well as overseeing human resources and physical facilities. Most recently, she was Vice President for Finance and Administration for Northwest Christian University in Eugene. In that capacity, she provided management oversight for all key financial and administrative functions. She also served on the President's Cabinet, the Strategic Planning Committee, and the Accreditation Committee, and was the executive liaison to the Buildings and Grounds, Endowment, and Finance Committees of the Board of Trustees. A native of Oklahoma, Castleberry was a longtime Evansville resident where she received her Bachelor of Science and Master's in Business Administration degrees from the University of Southern Indiana. She is also a certified public accountant. Lisa and her husband, Michael Bland, will relocate to Indiana in mid-April. Eugene the Jeep has been eliminated from USA Today's national competition for Best Mascot. The Jeep placed third in the regional competition with just over 2 million votes, which was just over 17% of the total votes garnered by the 9 schools in the region. Meanwhile, the Centralia, Illinois High School Orphans came out on top with more than double the Jeep's votes. The Orphans had nearly 5.5 million votes, or 43.5% of the total. In the first round of the competition among 5 Indiana schools, the Jeep had garnered 52% of the total votes cast. The regional round ended on Wednesday. The national winner will receive $2,000 for its athletic department. Now to some road closing notes. The Indiana Department of Transportation says Old U.S. Route 231 will be closing Monday in Spencer County. Norfolk Southern Railroad will be repairing their crossing north of Chrisney. The road will be closed from the junction of State Road 70 to the junction of State Road 162. No through traffic will be allowed. However, local residents will have access up to the point of closure. All lanes will be closed at the railroad crossing, which is 2.5 miles north of State Road 70. The official detour will encompass State Road 70, New US 231, and State Road 162. Work will begin Monday morning at approximately 8 a.m. local time. It is anticipated that the roadway will reopen to traffic by 5 o'clock local time next Friday. Also, INDOT says there will be temporary lane restrictions next week along Interstate 64 in DuBois, Perry, and Crawford counties. Beginning on Monday, INDOT crews will be clearing debris from bridge decks on I-64 from State Road 162, exit 63 at Ferdinand, to State Road 66, exit 92 at Leavenworth. Work will continue through next Thursday. All work is expected to begin at approximately 7 a.m. local time and be completed by 4 p.m. each day, weather permitting. All lanes of I-64 in both directions will be affected during this time frame. INDOT reminds motorists to follow the posted work zone speed limit, use caution, and consider worker safety when traveling through a work zone. Coming up after the break, rain and snow showers arriving for the weekend in your local forecast, followed by sports with Kurt Guxell and Inform with District 63 State Representative Mark Messmer. That's all coming up next here on 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.